Yes, sir. What's up, guys?
Yes. This DJ will kick the floor in three, two, 1.
On the troll.
Hello and welcome to Mzanzwa back again. It's that time of the night where we talk about what happened in court, right?
Yes, the Senzo Meyiwa
The
Trial.
Senzo Meyiwa Trial. I'm not going to waste time. There's a lot of things that are happening. I'm sure you want to unpack.
Yeah, it's a
Let me just
lot.
give you that chance. Good morning and
Good evening and good
some
morning.
Good
We are
morning
going
to some other
cross
people.
over.
Yes, we are obviously definitely crossing over. I hope that you have a great day, and I hope that you are probably seeing progress wherever you need to see progress. In this case, also in your life, yes.
Yes, in the daily activities of your life. Keep pushing. Yeah, guys, it's not easy. Hey, it's not easy. But yes, welcome back to the Mzansi Reality YouTube channel. Thank you so much for joining us yet again for another coverage or discussion of the Senzo Meyiwa trial. Now, as you guys know, it's the norm here. Later on, we'll open the lines for you guys to call in and share your opinions. Not now, later on, given the opportunity or chance. And also, yeah, don't forget to do the right thing. Support the channel. Ne? Support the channel by giving us a like, by also interacting on the comment section as well as the chat. Right now we are live, so if you are having the privilege of joining this live stream, just interact on the chat. There's more interesting people on the chat, as well as share the video to everyone else who's interested in the Senzo Meyiwa trial. It will be of great help to us, and we really appreciate everyone who likes the video. So yes, the defense in the Senzo Meyiwa trial this morning started cross-examination of the state witness Sergeant Vusmusi Mohani from the National Cold Case Unit. So he testified about the arrest and detention of accused number 1 and 2. Mgomezulu said that when Mohani started work as a police officer, they were together in Johannesburg. So they kind of have a history. They are familiar with each other. And Gomezulu then said, you with Brigadier Gininda met in December of 2019 and discussed the death of Senzo Meyiwa. And Mohani said, we met regarding the docket. So Gomezulu asked, how many were you there were considered as part of the investigating team? And Mohane said Brigadier Gininda himself, Sergeant Mohola, and the late Sergeant Mabena. Konjo Zungu Teohlangani Nobani. Who did Zungu say he met up with in 2019?
Isn't the same guy?
I'll have to revisit Zungu's testimony. Mgomezulu then asked, your involvement was because you were involved in the murder case of Nongoma. And Mohani said yes. Mgomezulu asked, and Sergeant Mohola was involved because she was involved in the Tembisa case. And Mohani said yes. Mgomezulu said, and Sergeant Mabena was not involved in any cases where both accused were investigated. Mohani said he was there from the beginning. So Mgomezulu asked, but he didn't have a specific case that he was investigating like yourself. And Mohani said he helped us with crime intelligence. He helped us get to accused number 2. Yeah. So he's the link, basically, to all the informants and what was happening to accused number 2. So Mgomezulu reminded him of his duties, which were collecting dockets, collecting phones for downloading exhibits, and making arrests. The informer will not come to testify, said Mgomezulu. However, he wanted to give the version of accused number 2 as to how he says they arrived at his place of residence at the time. Now, Mohani said Sergeant Mabena was the one working for crime intelligence, and he was the one working with the informers. Sergeant Mabena, who is no more. He has passed on, according to Mokhani's testimony. Mgomezulu then said Ntanzi was called by a 012 number a week before he was arrested. The person who called him introduced themselves as Sergeant Mohola, the person who called and offered employment for accused number 2. Do you have any knowledge of that? And Mokhani said that he doesn't know. Gomezulu then said accused number 2 responded by saying, I'm working and I'm not looking for employment. He further mentioned that the lady who introduced herself as Sergeant Mohola further informed accused number 2 that they were looking for him, and he said that they wanted the address where he resided. She further mentioned that accused number 2 is wanted for the death of Senzo Meyiwa. Now this is very interesting that he got some kind of a heads up, and I wonder why they gave him that heads up. It's very suspicious. So by the time they already came, he had already received a phone call from Sergeant Mohola to inform him that he will be he was wanted for the death of Senzo Meyiwa. So Mokhani said, I do not agree with that, because Sergeant Mohola would have called me and told me she'd called Ntanzi. So Mgomezulu then said, what is important is that after those allegations is that he then gave Mohola his address, and that was the first time he denied his involvement in Meyiwa's murder. So I was wondering, why would he give a dodgy cop calling him out of nowhere his address? Or perhaps the cop did it on purpose, hoping that he would run and then look even more guilty by running. What was happening here?
Yeah, look, what if you know that you didn't do anything, there's nothing wrong with what you did, you would like to clear your name.
So it's almost like she was given this heads up to have him frightened, because some people, when they are in shock, it's either flight or fight.
Yes.
And some people, or maybe they were hoping that he would run so that he looks more guilty.
Maybe there was that element, or maybe they were just telling him. Yeah, I think so. You're right. It could be that they were scaring him. Why would you tell a person that you want to catch, actually, that
Give
I'm
them a
coming to
heads
catch
up.
you?
What's with that? Unless if you want to scare them. So I found that very strange if it happened. Then Mokhani said, I disagree with that because she will come and testify on that. So then Gomezulu said, what made you go to Phukem police station to ask for backup? And Mokhani said, according to the way we work, when you arrive at a police station, you do not know. We first go to the police station. They know the place better than us. So Mgomezulu then asked, when you went to the police station, was there any warrant of arrest that was issued against accused number 2? And Mokhani said it was not there. Mgomezulu asked, what prompted you to go to the place or police station if there was no warrant of arrest? And Mokhani said there is a law on the Criminal Procedure Act that allows them to arrest without a warrant of arrest.
And that law, it also says that for some weird reason, it's Criminal Procedure Act of 1977, where it says that in this situation where arrest without warrant may occur, these are situations, so that you guys understand. They call it in flagrante delinquo. I think an arrest can be made when a person is caught in the act of committing a crime. This is a known as I've said the name.
Was he caught in the act of committing a crime?
We're still coming to that. Number two, I think this is where he was arrested. These are the bases they would actually detain him or arrest him, because seemingly they are saying they were arresting him. Reasonable suspicions. If a police officer has reasonable grounds, which is it's a vague bulletin, this one, grounds to believe that a person has committed a serious offense or is about to commit one, they may make an arrest without a warrant. So if
Now
I look at you,
that would explain why it was from 1970 something.
yes,
Cause what was happening then to people of color, you would just be arrested for walking down the street.
yes,
If you look suspicious,
yes,
then you would be arrested.
yes.
So as to why that part was not really looked into and given more adjustments.
It is only known to people who say they were proud of this law, who made this law. And then number 3 is to prevent flight or obstruction of justice. In this case, I think Magudumane is qualifying on this one.
Yeah, that's more for like Makutuman.
Escaping from lawful custody. If a person escapes from lawful custody to a prison or police station, they can be arrested without the warrant of arrest.
Which is not the case.
Which is not the case in this case.
So they just looked at him and smelled him that you are suspicious for what happened to Senzo.
And the last one is when you are in breach of peace.
What does that mean?
In breach of peace, an arrest without warrant may be made to prevent breach of peace. I think this applies to the case of Veiws, to restore order in a situation where there is likelihood of public violence or harm.
Oh, so they don't need a warrant of arrest.
Yes.
To arrest you for that.
Yes.
Very interesting. Siyafunda la. We are learning. That's the information. What did I use today? Education ethengwa ngedata. Education ethengwa ngedata.
Yes, let us like the video though.
So I was like, okay, so now point number 2 that you've just raised, that they just smell you, they just find you. It takes a cop to find you suspicious of having committed a crime, and their gut feeling is telling them that you are guilty. Then they can come and arrest you without a warrant of arrest. Isn't that interesting?
And they can justify it on the fact that you are suspicious.
You are suspicious. So right now we're working on the fact that the police found Ndanzi suspicious.
Yes.
That's why they
That's why
need a warrant of arrest.
I doubt though, because there are grounds that you must lay for basis of being suspicious. So why isn't that you must be physically there to evaluate the person also, if really this person is suspicious, or it is based on what you have heard about the person?
And what have you heard about the person?
Maybe accused number 1 just gave a lot of things.
So Mgombe Zulu said, upon arriving at Rustenburg, accused number 2 was not aware that the police are looking for him. Mohane said, according to me, he didn't know, but according to him, he talked to Sergeant Mohola, so he knew the way he was telling you. You know, the defensiveness, you even use something that you said you had no knowledge of, just so you can dodge the bullet. So that you can not answer the question accordingly.
Yes.
You decide to use information that was used to inform you against the person that you are calling the accused in this case. So I found that very interesting. So
What did you say?
According to me, he didn't know, but according to him, he talked to Sergeant Mohola, so he knew the way he was telling you. So he's saying accused number 2 knew.
On the basis, this is where I think the follow-up question, these are 3 questions that this man is giving you that you can actually press on. He's first denying that there was a call between Mohole and Dance. But then he uses that you have submitted, that there was a call, to back that one up, to say that he knew now because of that. Do you accept the call then that happened, if you are actually saying that it happened because of what I submitted? Do you therefore accept the call? The judge likes doing that.
Yeah, he should have followed up.
He should have followed up, yes.
Do you accept that actually Sergeant Mohola made?
Because you are basing now your answer, you are basing it on, and you are convicted. On you are convinced, I mean, that this happened. So you are basing your answer on that. So therefore, we might as well accept that there was a call that you might not have known about, or you might have known about.
Well, he continued to say that at the time we were under lockdown, and the Nongoma case of 2018 was that of murder and possession of unlicensed firearm.
I want people to understand it. We told them at some point that basically, just to give you a summary, there is nothing that Ntanzi was arrested for. But what happened is they just took a case. No, they didn't just take a case. I want to remind you what happened. Let me give you a background.
Okay.
Do you remember when the 5 accused didn't want to go to the docket, or didn't want to go to a stand? They were on a strike, basically, not saying that we are not going to go there. This man, I think it's accused number 5. He said this man ufigile lapha eqala kabusha, he came there eqala kabusha. Wathi uzocharger ubuthelezi. Uthe uma esesuka lapho wasezocharger thina ngalento. This is buthelezi. This is the buthelezi, I would assume.
I remember.
So this is
that.
not a mistake.
From the first court appearance in October 2020.
What this says to public people like us who just watch and see and observe, what it says is that Ntanzi could have been the wrong person to be arrested. The Buthelezi was supposed to be standing on Ntanzi's position. Ntanzi was in the wrong place at the wrong time. Because if Mngomezulu is submitting that when he came to say to Ntanzi, he called him Buthelezi.
Yes.
And this is the guy. Who's this guy who's testifying?
Mokhane.
Mokhane called Ntanzi Buthelezi. So it was under assumption that they are arresting Buthelezi. And the case was going to stick. In a sense that already Buthelezi is arrested for other cases. The case that is in question right now, that is being won by Ntanzi. That there is probably a high possibility that Ntanzi is not part of that case.
Yeah, because during the objection, the state tried to make it seem like there's more than one accused.
So
and that Ntanzi could be there somewhere.
yes.
But then later on, Mngomezulu refers to 2 accused, and Ntanzi is still not appearing on that extract.
Yes. So what is happening is the state is saying that bring that docket so that we look at it. But let me submit that the state was actually duty bound to bring that docket because they are the ones who introduced the story of Ntanzi being arrested because of that case.
Nongoma case.
So they submitted everything without any proof. The only thing that they had is OBS occurrence. Now, the judge was willing to accept that. It was in fact accepted. Only for Mngomezulu to leech on it and start now making noise about it and questioning the basis of that case. Now, the judge is submitting that Mngomezulu brings that thing as a proof. But when the state was submitting that Ntanzi was arrested for one of those, in fact, the main cases was Nongoma case.
Yes.
Which is not cold, by the way, by the looks of things.
No, it's not a cold case.
Because there was an arrest.
Yes, and a conviction.
And a conviction.
A judgment
Yes.
was done on the case.
Listen to his answer when this
Doesn't
man is
qualify as a
answering.
cold
He
case.
answers carefully by saying, according to us. Who is us?
Who's
Isn't
us?
SAPS the same SAPS in KZN, in Johannesburg? Who is
What
us?
is us?
According
he
to
referring
us, the case is still open.
Who's us?
That sounds like I'm covering up in case the original, the real investigator comes and say, no, I don't work with this person. And he goes as further as to submit and say, the person who's responsible for the case is Brigadier Kinindi, but there's a slash or there's a branch to Nongoma. That is to cover up the fact that, for me, this is according to me, the fact that this case is not a cold case. It does not belong to a cold case.
It doesn't, honestly speaking.
It's not supposed to be there.
A cold case is
But
a case
well,
that
everyone
has
in
not seen-
SAPS has access to this information. They are privy to this information. Therefore, they got whatever that they wanted, according to me. This is my own assumption. And then they did whatever they want to do with it.
They just wanted him by the looks of things.
But now it's not matching up.
They just wanted him in custody.
It is not matching up because now they now have to bring even the investigator Mngomezulu, who's the original investigator, who's the investigator of this case.
Sure. Mokhane said he was part of the Nongoma case investigating team and not fully an investigator.
You see now what he's saying. He was an investigator initially. You remember,
Yes.
he was boldly investigator
saying, yes,
of this
I
case.
was investigating.
Now that he's being probed more on this side, he's realizing that the original investigator is gonna come up and say, no, I don't know you, I denounce you. Let me say I'm part of it.
Ngomezulu asked, so when you approached accused number 2, did you have a docket of the case? Mokhane said, no, we did not have it. So the information relating to that matter, how sure were you were the investigating officer about the details contained in the docket? And Mokhane said when the docket arrives, he read it and understood it, and because it was busy, he left it in the office.
So the follow-up question there, just a brief summary. What is this docket all about, since you are able to keep it in your head? And considering that you expected accused number 2 to remember something that happened in 6 years ago. So I'm assuming that your memory is very good, considering that you work on this thing. Can you just perhaps briefly give us what your summary is of this case, since you were part of the investigating team?
Yes. So Mokhane said at the time it was the main investigator of that case was Brigadier Gininda, but the case was from Nongoma. Accused number 2 will come and tell the court that when you approached him with the late Sergeant Mabena, you said to him, you are Sianda Buthelezi. Are you Sianda Buthelezi? That's what they asked him. We are looking for you. Mokhane said he must tell the truth. Bongani Sandiso Ntanzi must tell the truth. He said, I will not call him Sianda Buthelezi while I know that he's in Ntanzi. Ngomezulu handed up a document in relation to the Nongoma case against Ntanzi. He handed an extract from the case, and Ngomezulu asked him to confirm the case number, which was Nongoma 16310 of 2018. And Ngomezulu asked, can you confirm the investigating officer of that case? And Mokhane said it's written Sergeant L. Ngomezulu as well as other numbers. So Ngomezulu was on this case. L. Ngomezulu, not the current advocate. Another one.
Yes, the investigator.
So Ngomezulu said the name of the accused that appears there is Buthelezi, correct? And Mokhane said yes. And the initials are of the accused is QB. Mokhane said yes. And the charge is unlawful possession of firearm. And Mokhane said yes. The matter was finalized by a guilty verdict, and the accused was sentenced to 15 years to prison. So Ngomezulu said, so you will agree that under this case number 163 of 10 of 2018, it does not reflect accused number 2, Bongani Sandiso Ntanzi. Baloyi stood to object, claiming that he doesn't know if such a proposition can be placed to the accused when all they have is just an extract without mentioning how many accused were there. He said we don't know how many accused were there and where the matter was finalized. So,
my lord, on the basis that we are going to submit this paper as he usually does, I would propose that this witness answer this question, considering the fact that he was working on this case. This is not a case that is mushrooming from the tree or something. This is a case that was once at the top of the list of the things that this man woke up and did as a part of the investigating team of this case. So I doubt that such information, as light as what I'm asking, would just disappear in their head. We can always confirm, my lord, when we have acquired the docket. But for now, I would suggest that this witness answers.
Perfect. But why Baloy I gets us mangele? Like, why does he not pull that case as a prosecutor? I mean, he has all the means to do so.
Like they did with Cleveland case, that they were willing to drag with the judge.
It was also
they were willing to bring
finalized
that case come hell or high water. They wanted to bring that case. What is happening with these ones where we are saying it's just cases, lot of cases. But one thing that they are running away from is that these people were not charged for up until they were charged for Senzo's Mtanzi, up until he was charged for Senzo's case.
Yeah.
All these cases that they never, there's nothing that actually is on the court roll that says these people were charged, officially charged. In their argument, they ignore the fact that there was no charge that happened up until then. There's that official charge of Senzo. So the submissions, they want those submissions to occur as if there was this sequential way of doing things, as the judge explained. There is no sequential way of doing things because they never happen. Your submission is just, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. You are ignoring the facts in front of you that says that these people were not, Ntanzi was not officially charged up until the 26th, where he was charged through Senzo's case. So you want to limit Mngomezulu's questioning on the basis of a theory that you have faced before, that you have heard of before. But this is not what occurred here. And I don't think the law is supposed to be like that. I don't think the law is supposed to say, on the basis of the theory, you always object when that happens.
Yes.
When someone fits something that does not fit within the case that you are facing, you always object. Now you want people to listen to you with that bogus thinking that you always put there. I'm not talking about this case. While we are talking about this case, you are talking about this case. All your submissions that you've been making, Judge Rat, you've been talking about this case. You have never made an example outside of this case. You have made examples that are actually touching on what is currently happening.
Now, take a look at how difficult it is for the defense to have just pulled that case, that they only had to present an extract. Why aren't these court cases made publicly available?
It's for the same reasons that now we are facing, where you can always hide from the fact that the case is not in present. But if this thing was there, really, if the system was functioning, it's for such bogus cases.
Yes.
If this thing was functioning, you would just pull this thing and you would just adjourn and pull this thing, come back.
So the judge asked if it was a plea matter or if it was a trial. It was on trial. So he's asking if it was a plea matter or if it was on trial. Baloy said, we don't know. All we see is the verdict. Mgomezulu then said it may also mean that there was one accused as well.
The verdict that you were willing to manipulate on your side when you said the case is still in progress and in passing, and considering how our judge decides to be selective in listening, and I know that people say that this man is old, that's why he's messing things up. But there's consistency in how he messes things up. He messes things up to favor the state.
Yes.
This is according to me. And then you can claim that therefore this person is old, is making honest mistakes. No. These are not mistakes that are honest. This looks like a mistake that, yes.
For the state, polishing their mistakes.
Yes.
And making them get out of
the situation. Like today, their backs were on the corner. Even Ngomezulu stood up to submit that. This should have been the state's duty to actually bring this thing here, since they submitted it.
Yes.
Now I'm told to bring a proof. So now I'm the one proving beyond reasonable doubt that this is the case.
And that's the state's job, right?
Yes.
Isn't this the state's job
Yes.
to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that those 5 accused are guilty of the crime?
Yes. So you must bring everything that's gonna assist you on your submissions. Now you submit a half clash. You just submit something and you say, "This is the case, by the way, my lord. The case is in progress. Done."
Well, Mgomezulu said, hence, my lord, I requested that this version be provisionally accepted as subject to confirmation from the J7th form of Kwanongoma and the relevant documentation. So the judge said, Mgomezulu said, upon your evidence, you said
You can
this
see he's not
matter
interested,
is
right?
not yeah.
Or to accept that. But if it was Baloi, he would. My lord, we will submit a full statement as a investigator. What? It would have been admissible.
Baloy stood to object again, requesting that the case docket to see how many accused were there and what happened to the rest of the accused, saying that this Buthelezi was accused number 1. The judge said that he's not stated as just the name of the accused number 1, seemingly agreeing with the state. And Mgomezulu reminded the court of Mohane's testimony where he only mentioned the murder case, which does not appear on the extract. So Baloy then said, we don't know the sentence agreement. It could have been a peer and sentence agreement. This accused could have offered a plea on possession of unlicensed firearm. It would be unfair to put that question to the witness while we don't know the exact circumstances, and the judge proposed that they wait for the docket.
And they start submitting all this garbage. The judge starts submitting.
He says
What
we're
if
just
this is the
rounding in
case?
circles
What if
now.
the case? What if it's this? What if it's that? All nonsense.
Now I was asking myself, why not the court ruling as well? Why not the case? Was it not recorded? Why are they only asking for the docket?
As if this is in progress. This is something that is still happening.
What's a court case that's finalized? Why not
Yes.
ask for also the
That's what
the
Mgomezulu is
transcript?
submitting. Not
What
even a
happened
transcript.
In the case?
The
What
whole-
happened in the case?
The whole ruling or the
yes,
judgment.
the judgment.
Yes.
Why not ask for that too, not just the docket? So it's possible that Buthelezi is not even his name. That's what the judge was saying. You've heard of such cases. I can even bring another possibility.
Can you
of-
imagine that stretching? So now he's saying the guy who's arrested is not his name.
Yeah, basically. It's in Tanzi. He was using a fake name, Buthelezi. That's what he's trying to tell us.
Hey, this guy is out of line.
Oh my God. Oh, then Mgomezulu was like, my lord, let us be genuine to the court. Because he wanted to continue and said, I have another possibility. I'm like, aye. No, enough. Enough. Mgomezulu was like, my lord, let us be genuine to the court, okay? Sergeant Mohani came to testify in relation to case number 163. He never furnished sufficient information. He had no docket when he arrested accused number 2, and he did not bring the same docket in court when the proceedings started. And I would request that the witness bring the docket so that we can confirm all the contents of the docket and what were the charges against the accused persons and the accused reflected. So when can you bring the docket? He asked. Mohani said, I will check with Brigadier Kininda. He's the one who stores them.
That docket
Didn't
is
you
not
say
coming.
it was in your office?
That docket is not coming. You see, based on what they say when they talk, you can tell where they have powers. Like that, I don't think that docket is coming. If
not
it comes, it will come. It will come through Mgomezulu. According to us, this case is still in progress. Us. So that excludes the person who's investigating this case. That would mean that that person is probably not going to budge. So they're going to find it hard to actually, or they're going to come with an excuse to say, my lord, we have tried to get in touch with an investigating which will be wrong in any case because you claimed that you are part of the team. You should have this thing beforehand. You
Yes.
should have it.
Yes. He was also asked, can you also furnish further dockets that relate to Ntanzi, especially the illegal substance case and the possession of unlicensed ammunition case? And Mohani said, yes, I will bring them. Mngomezulu asked for this part of evidence to be stood down until the dockets are made available. So he went on to the next part of the cross-examination. He said on the 16th of June 2020, when he found Tanzi with his Tswana girlfriend, he opened for you. That is the time you informed him of the matter of Kwanongoma. And Mohani said, correct. Okay. Now, Mr. Anonymous, don't tell me that they go on arresting people without conducting proper investigations. This man said Tanzi had a lot of cases, but it seems as though he has no clue about the details of those cases.
No, they don't
and
throw.
it looks like
No, that's not even. Don't even go there. I don't think that these people are arresting wrong people for a wrong reason. In this case, I think that they are throwing weights, just weights, to actually create the weight on the case. They know what they are doing. Many cases could be two. And the two that obviously we have since realized that one, the Nongoma one belongs to someone else.
yes.
Two, the substance one was never even, didn't even see the day in court.
Mohani said he read Ntanzi the rest of his rights at the police station, and after the right to remain silent or else anything he says will be used against him in a court of law, and the right to have a legal representation, and if he could not afford one, the state would provide one in the form of legal aid. Mngomezulu asked, when you arrested him, did you inform him that he had the right to appear before the end of the 48 hours? And Mohani said that's correct, according to how it is written here. That's what I heard. He said, according to how it is written. So he's still using that statement of his. Mngomezulu then said, did you explain that if he's arrested on the weekend, he should appear on the next court day? And Mohani said, I didn't explain it, but I read it to him. Wasn't he the one who said he can speak Sepedi, Setswana, Zulu? Wasn't he the one?
Look, this is probably the most unorganized witness to have brought in this case, who's highly involved in this case. I don't understand how it happened to be this way. I really don't. But throwing names such as there are many cases, you can't bring them. You only have two. And two, seemingly, they looked cooked.
Yes, they're not sticking.
They
have
and then the
nothing
only
to
thing that you are
accuse.
left with now is this, rifle ammunition. And now we told it in a wrong way because you were looking for EJs, Lapan. You went to go and find a black hoodie that looks like the one in the sketch. No color, no nothing. Darkish. You went to look for darkish. If there's a color like that, darkish. And then you came back with ammunition. From there, what are we supposed to believe from you? I mean, what can we take and say, okay, this is really this guy, I mean, honestly speaking.
Well, Mngomezulu asked as an experienced officer, if you make an arrest of a person on the weekend, when do the 48 hours lapse from the day you arrested him? And Mohani said, can I first check on what day the 16th of June fell on? And Mngomezulu said, it has come to my attention that the 16th of June was on a Tuesday. And Mohani said, that's true. So when does the 48 hours lapse? And Mngomezulu said, it's not Mngomezulu, it's Mohani who said, I'm not sure if I'm putting it well, but since it was a Tuesday, it ends on Friday. Mngomezulu then asked, so it ended on Friday. The next court date was Monday. Mohani said yes. Mngomezulu asked, but on that Monday, he was not taken to court. Baloyi stood to object, said, "My lord, that is not true. We have handed over documents to show he appeared on the 22nd of June at Phokeng Court. Investigating officer of that case is Mohani, the witness." And Mgomezulu laid the basis in transit was written by Mohani for the Nongoma case and not the Phokeng case. He was supposed to be taken to Nongoma police station or to Nongoma court, and Mohani agreed. If it was on the 22nd of June 2020, accused number 2 was supposed to be taken to the KwaNongoma court and not the Phokeng court.
Yeah.
Mohani said that he was and had too many cases, and Nongoma is very far.
So they are saying we just concocted the one of substances that belongs to Phosphorus, then we took him to. That's basically what they're saying. So those people who say they do not understand the issue of 48 hours, where it comes from, it might have confused you. Because what they are saying is that they did charge this man somewhere, somehow, on different occurrences, different cases.
Yes.
But Mgomezulu is arguing that there is no formal charge coming out of those things that they are claiming it could have been the issue why Ntanzi was arrested.
The
So
Nongoma
therefore,
case in
they are leaning on Nongoma case. And Nongoma case, it has nothing. So eventually they get to charge this man on the 26th. Meaning that at the time, which is on the 16th, when they arrested this man was now kept there, arrested as they claim. They arrested, that is their word. They arrested this man, was kept there as a detained person. Now later Baloyi stood up to argue the issues of detained and arrested. But these people, they said they arrested. The reason why he's arguing that is that he now sees that there is a gap up until this man was charged with Senzo's case, which sort of corroborates the story that, in fact, the initial arrest was for Senzo because of that call of Mohole. Yes, because of that call. It's clear. It makes sense.
So going to KwaNongoma did not look like an option. They went to look for a jersey, found ammunition, and then they arrested him for the
When
first
they
time
were about to release the
in his
man,
residence.
when they realized that actually this man, the story is, which would say, if they realize, if there was a story like, which would say that they were buying that he went home.
Yes.
And there was a bit of proof that he went home. And then they sooner realized, no, man, can't let this man go. This one is like, no, man, I'm going to try. Let's go look for that darkish hoodie. Eventually we find ammunition. We don't find that darkish hoodie.
We found a black plastic bag with ammunition.
We found a darkish plastic bag, and then we bring you in. Now you are charged.
So the 48-hour time period lapsed. Mohani said that it did not lapse. That is why they placed him in Phosphorus.
So because of
And it
this
was far
ammunition,
because he had another Phosphorus case.
they never took this man to any magistrate for that. Not in Phokeng, not in Phosphorus, not in anywhere.
It's even worse, Mgomezulu said. Phosphorus court did not place any matter on the roll.
Yes. And the judge was trying to argue that with Baloyi, assisting Baloyi as usual, to say that, okay, you can actually be charged later. But Mgomezulu's submission is clear to say that if the confession is made, according to criminal procedure, you must go and put that thing on the roll of the magistrate and say pending investigation.
Yes.
That was not done.
No, not in this case.
Yes.
You wish. Mohani does not disagree and says it is not for the first time that they have cases like this. Mohani
But we're not dealing with those
insists
cases.
that he went to court. They didn't take him via the back door. He went to court. The Phosphorus court decided to concentrate on this case. So Phokeng court He was not charged with murder, nor charged with possession of illegal substances. He was arrested and charged for possession of an unlicensed ammunition. Mogani said that if he remembers correctly, they first started at Vosloorus court before they went to Booking. This even makes it even look even more worse.
You see, I see you're saying detained. It means that you are kept, basically, pending that investigation.
Yes.
Maybe you could be kept so that you do not interfere with the investigation.
Yes.
But you are detained. You are not arrested.
You are not arrested. You are detained.
Yes.
It's a difference. Then Mgomezulu said Ntanzi denied appearing at the Tlhabane Magistrate Court on the 22nd. So could they have changed the date? You see, now these court appearances need to be made public now, because could they have changed the date of the 22nd into... Let me tool. Mgomezulu then said the main concern of the defense is that when the matter was postponed on the 22nd of June, the magistrate signed a J7. Do you agree? And Mogani said yes. Now, this J7 says the accused should be remanded in prison if bail was not granted. And Mogani said, I would like to request a slight adjournment because you're talking about 2 cases of Vosloorus and Booking, and I need to get my facts correct. And I was thinking to myself, lies, they have short legs, Can't keep up. Can't keep up with them lies. They are a lot. And the court adjourned for 5 minutes. Mogani said they took Ntanzi to court on the 19th of June 2020, and Mgomezulu asked, he was never brought before any court of KwaNongoma for the charge of murder. And Mogani said, yes, but what I'm saying is that I had charged him on OB, or occurrence book, which allowed me to take him to court for the following day. Mgomezulu then asked, still with that case, did he appear in KwaNongoma? And Mogani said, no, he didn't. Mgomezulu asked, and you said the matter is still pending? And Mogani said, on our side, as far as Ntanzi is concerned, that case is not completed. And I don't want to go deep into why I say so. Brigadier Gininda will come and add as to why I'm saying it's not done, the case. So the person who appears as accused number 1 is witness number 104 in the indictment. The full name of that person that appears on that extract is Qinisela Bekuku Tidwa Buthelezi.
Bekukutintwa or
Bekukutintwa.
or something like that, but it's Qiniselo
Qinisela Bekukutintwa Buthelezi. Hence, the initials are QB. Mogani said, I don't disagree with you. As you know, this is the cold case unit. We take cases that are cold and make them hot.
Yeah.
And the interpreter missed this. Interpreted something else. And I'm like, did it just say that? Did it just say they take cold cases and make them hot? I'm like, what?
No, Modley, I'm just going to answer you. Detained refers to temporal restraint or confinement of any individual freedom of movement. It does not necessarily mean that the person is being accused of crime. Detention can occur in various reasons, such as for questioning, investigation, to ensure public safety and order or whatsoever. And then while arrest on the other side involves legal deprivation of a person's liberty with the intent to charge them with crime.
Okay.
So that's a difference.
All right. Thank you, Mutli. Thank you for that explanation. So Ntanzi, he said we make it hot. We still have evidence against Ntanzi that we will not disclose to the court because it might mess up our case. Again, he says our case.
Our case. Hey, I don't. The judge is giving them ideas. Release this person. Just charge them right there again.
Yes. Guys.
Using that
I
those
can't.
tactics, old tactics.
I cannot deal with this judge. You know, I can't. He gets on my nerves. But I want to put across to you that the one who was arrested with Qinisela Buthelezi is Thabani Ngwenya in a murder case. And Mohani said, I repeat, I can't get into detail since you are the one saying it, it's fine. But on my side, I cannot say who got arrested, when and what is happening. Does he even know what's happening?
No. That's why I wanted the summary of the case from him. He will know probably today. He's busy knowing what is happening.
Woo! Mgobe Zulu then said, I've been at trial, sir. I need to clarify every piece of evidence before this court. The instruction further is both Qinisela Buthelezi and Themba Ngwenya were arrested and charged for murder at the time when they approached Qinisela Buthelezi to arrest him for murder. That's when they found him with this firearm. Hence, he was sentenced to 15 years. Mohani said, like I said, our cases have crime intelligence background. I hear you, but I'm refusing. I will not speak on it. So a whole crime intelligence prioritizes cases that have gone on trial and have a verdict.
Yeah. I would like to know what is their KPIs in the cold case department? Is it how many cases they've actually that
solved.
were cold and solved and all that? Because
Was the record also of the investigation process?
their intelligence is really, it looks like I think we have better intelligence as a court of public opinion.
There are so many cold cases in this country.
A lot of them.
So many.
A lot of them.
And they're busy dealing with cases that have been judged already, that have verdicts.
Someone who doesn't know, who just came into South Africa now, just realized that this is this big case, would say they are finding ways of taking those cases and pinning them, expanding on them. So if there's a case that is existing and that case is really not solvable, we are going to expand a certain case that has already been closed to include you. So we are just cooking them. It looks like that.
Mgomezulu stood it down until the docket is brought in. And on the occurrence book entries now, Mgomezulu said, how many were you in the boardroom with the suspect on the 17th of June 2020? And Mohani said it was himself, Sergeant Mohola, and Sergeant Mabena. Mgomezulu asked, was it in relation to case 16310 of 2018, the Nongoma case? And Mohani said it was not the only one. It was all the cases he was involved in.
Which
including
cases?
The murder of Senzo Meyiwa.
Which cases? You know, a simple thing, like which cases?
Ngomezulu then asked, my instruction was that there was a lot of police officers in there, even females. And Mohani said that cannot be true. It was just the three of us. We also would not want a lot of people to prevent the leaking of information. So the judge wanted to know the exact number of police officers that Danzi said he saw. And Ngomezulu, after taking instructions, said it was Mohani, Mohola, Brigadier Kininda, and a gentleman with, I don't know whether he had braces or gold
He had
teeth.
braces, yes, he had braces.
Braces, Bongani from intelligence. So the police officers were outside the boardroom, and the interview was regarding the Senzo Meyiwa case only, according to Ntanzi. So Mgomezulu said Ntanzi said Brigadier Gininda was in the boardroom as well as other people.
There was even a Bongani of intelligence, matters.
And even took the photos of him when he asked him to take off his clothes to check if he had tattoos. Now I'm surprised that these photos have not been used there to prove that he was not tortured or something. So those photos were to prove that he didn't have tattoos. So accused number 2 also took such photos with his clothes off. So Mogani wanted Ntanzi to explain regarding the police that were outside. And the police officers that were outside were from Pretoria North. So Mogani said Ntanzi must tell the truth. Brigadier Gininda was not there. He's also a very experienced officer. Why does he
feel the need of protecting?
Who would never ask
There are
him.
two people that this guy will really protect so hard.
Mukhola and Gininda.
Yes. He sounds like, he's afraid of when it goes to that direction.
He speaks very highly of Brigadier Gininda. So he says that an experienced officer would never ask him to take off his clothes to take his pictures. Mgomezulu then said at the boardroom, accused number 2 denied for the second time that he was not involved in the murder of Senzo Meyiwa. And Mogani said it's true, he did deny. So if he did deny first time and he did deny second time, where did this confession come in?
After a certain investigation, he was booked out at 16:55, brought back at 19:55. They were asking him questions about his whereabouts. And then there's this long booking that happened after that.
An overnight one. Let me get into it. So Mgomezulu said, what were you doing in 3 hours in the boardroom? And Mogani said, we were asking him questions about these cases. And Mgomezulu said, you booked him out again at 8:05 in the morning of the 18th of June. That's when you say you took accused number 2 to his workplace. And Mogani said, I agree. He should have told you that when we were in the bedroom in those 3 hours, he should have told you that he told us that he was at work on the day Meyiwa was shot and killed, and then asked him if he could take us there to confirm that information. Mgomezulu then said, you will agree that the day Meyiwa was shot and killed up to the day he was arrested, it is a period of 6 years. And Mogani said, yes, I agree. Mgomezulu said, so if you pose a question as to where you were on that day, did you expect a vivid answer from accused number 2? And Mogani said, no, he knew when Senzo had died because it was on the news. So he should have known. Mgomezulu then said, if I were to ask you where you were on that day on the 26th of October 2014, what would you say? And Mogani said, I'd have to recall. That's why we took 3 hours with him.
So
that
3
he could
hours
remember.
can actually remind you. So we wouldn't be failing exams at some point if 3 hours can actually make you recall everything, because it's all about that. I mean, if you could use that approach, even in these exams that we write, we would pass. Because, with 3 hours, then you can remember everything, according to these people, even if you studied 6 years ago.
And the funny thing is that he was being asked on all the cases. Now, jiggy. He was being given 3 hours to remember where he was on the night that Senzo Meyiwa died for the whole 3 hours.
Collaborating what this guy is saying, to say that I was only questioned about Senzo's case. And then jiggy, we are focusing on that one. While we are denying that was the case, though.
And he added Aromet by saying we were not rushing him. They were not rushing him in those 3 hours to remember where he was on the 26th of October. But you said you were questioning him on those 3 cases, Zakir. Now you forgot that you said you were questioning him on 3 cases. So Mgomezulu said, do not justify that answer. You never specified as to what kind of investigation was undergoing in those 3 hours and what kind of questions you asked. And only now, when I'm asking you personally on the 26th of October 2014, where were you? I want you to recall where you were. But I'll leave that for argument. Mgomezulu said you took him out at 8:05 in the morning and you brought him back at 2:30 in the morning on the 19th of June. Mgomezulu said if I calculate, that is about plus minus 17 hours. What were you doing with him in those ungodly hours? Mohani said we took him to his workplace where we also met with Brigadier Gininda, and we met with his bosses who confirmed that he was not at work on that day. Brigadier Gininda left with Mamfundisi, and I left with Mabena, and we went our own way. Thereafter, we continued with our investigations that were not related to the Meyiwa case. Mgomezulu asked, what time did Gininda arrive? And Mohani said, I can't remember what time. It was in the afternoon because at the mines, they were also at a time they wanted to knock off. He came afterwards. He met us at the gate where I was waiting with Sergeant Muhola. I went into the mine with Gininda, and when we were done, he left with Mamfundis, and I left with Mabena. So Mgomezulu then said, where exactly did you go? And Mohani said, I don't remember where exactly we went, but we went past Alberton, and we were in the East Rand as we continued our investigation. Now, Alberton sounds familiar now. Finally,
it
a
was
police
mentioned.
officer who mentions Alberton,
It was mentioned.
because this is the road that is close to the filling station,
Yes, and the firm or whatever that
the steel company.
steel company. Yes. So basically,
where
the
the
story of this
torturing
guy is being
allegedly took place.
is being replayed back now by the people that were denying that story.
So Mgomezulu said, and you booked him back at 2:30 in the morning, the following morning. And Mohani said, yes. Mgomezulu asked, did he eat anything during that time? And Mohani says, whatever we would eat, he would eat. Whatever we drank, he drank. We would never let him starve. We are not bad police officers. He would even choose what brand he wanted to eat. He would say KFC.
Hey, my gosh.
And we bought him. And we bought KFC for him, and he ate.
Just
Now, why don't
for
I
fun
believe
of
this?
it.
Why don't I believe this? I'm struggling to believe this. I don't see it happening.
They are saying that to Ntanzi would say, that's who
I
booking
think
it.
Debona's pizza.
Funeti bonus.
Joba, ngicela sushi.
Yes.
You will give it to him. Nina na.
Hake fish.
You will drive all the way to where they sell hake fish just to give it to him. How generous of you. Somehow I don't see it happening. I don't believe this part. I think it's a lie in my opinion. Then Gomezulu then said, he says he didn't eat from the day he was arrested. Now this sounds more like it. This sounds more like the reality of being under the custody of police. He says he didn't eat from the day he was arrested. And the judge said he is the one who shared food with accused number 2.
Wrong, judge. See, that's a problem. You decide on purpose. You always decide to listen and put things in wrong places. Wrong. That was accused number 1's testimony.
To him, it sounds the same. Accused 1 and accused
In
2.
fact, it was not even accused number 1's
609.
testimony. It was accused. It was Jonathan and Buteles who was
Yes. testifying
on behalf or on the issues that happened to accused number 1.
609, good judge. You accused 1 and 2, but I found out
Now
609.
you even change your face, strong face. Ubizela Mamurata is busy.
I saw on the court chat someone calling him fish fingers.
Suka. No man, this man wants us to talk.
Did I not die? Fish finger.
Suka. He wants us to talk. What if Charisha?
Oh, guys, you guys are funny. Ngomezulu then said he heard it was with accused number 1. Exactly. The testimony we heard it with relation to accused number 1. Mohani said he said it is accused number 2. That's not even his testimony. Mohani, why?
It's a second, I think it's the third time today I heard him agreeing to something that judge was putting to him without
not even your
understanding.
testimony.
It was not his testimony, yes.
Mohani, why? Why do you go and embarrass the South African police like this in a court of law? But anyway, we moved. The illegal substances case number was given by Mohani that it is 534 06 of 2020, Mokgani said that he can remember he was charged for this case, and SAP 14 he will check it when the docket comes, and the matter was not placed on the court roll of force lawyers. So Mokgani said after leaving the mine in Carltonville, he told Gininda that he knew something about the Meyiwa case, even though he cannot go into details. Mngomezulu said, "Sir, were you present personally when accused number 2 discussed that with Gininda?" And Mokgani said, "Yes, I was present." Mngomezulu asked how accused number 2 related to Brigadier Gininda. Now you are bringing the answer as to how the statement was made. And Baloyi objected, saying the evidence is that it was only him. Mohola said Brigadier Gininda and Mabena. Mngomezulu referred to Jonathan's evidence, and the judge said that he denied being there. So Jonathan denied being there. So Mngomezulu then said at the boardroom, accused number 2 denied his involvement. And Mokgani said, yes, his denial led to him wanting to take us to his work to confirm where he was on that day. And Mngomezulu said, accused number 2, before Gininda drove with Sergeant Mohola, that you and Mabena, after having a discussion with Brigadier Gininda, you asked accused number 2 the direction back to Rustenburg because you wanted to take him back to the place where you arrested him. And the judge said, it is not the opposite. Accused number 2 is the one who showed him where he works. Now you are putting it to him that he is the one who directed them to Rustenburg. And Mngomezulu said the following day, you took him to his workplace and you made your own investigation until you were satisfied with the HR manager's statement. Mngomezulu said that after you convened a meeting between you, Mohola, Gininda, and Mabena, and according to his instruction, there was no conversation with him. After Gininda and Mohola had departed, you asked him for directions back to Rustenburg. And Mngomezulu said to him, he was under the impression that you were satisfied with your information and you were going to release him.
That question was changed. That question became an issue of Ndanzi showing them directions to his work, which I think work and where Ndanzi stays is in the same area, around the same area. What Mngomezulu is trying to say is that upon reaching that company and after finding out whatever they wanted to find out, they were procrastinating to release him. But then they realized that then they don't have a case. This is my thinking in this case. Then they needed a direction back to Ntanzi's room. Even though they went there, it was difficult for them to actually know, considering it's also shacks. It was difficult for them to navigate like that again.
Yes.
So they needed direction to go back to that house. Tanzi thinking that they are just going to drop him and then they leave.
Because they haven't found anything, right?
Then they got inside the house. They are looking now for a hoodie that is darkish, that is based on the sketch that was drawn by who's this lady?
Mohola.
No, the lady who drew the sketch, that sketch of
Or
people.
Steenkamp.
Steenkamp.
Warrant
Then-
Officer Steenkamp.
Yes. So upon that, then that's when they find ammunition,
And then they found ammunition.
the so-called ammunition, allegedly.
Rifle ammunition.
Which
then-
they didn't even charge him because there is no case on that. Or if there is a case, we'll see tomorrow. But I can tell you, probably the number is going to be a total different number that is not matching with the cases of this year. Or it will match with the cases of this year.
It said something like 2020, June of 2020, 534 of June 2020. So if it's on June, then it means they opened it immediately after they had, is it detained or arrested
But where
him?
can it be verified if it didn't see the court?
Yeah, I don't know. We'll see tomorrow. We'll see tomorrow what is the case.
Let us like the video, share the video, like the video, share the video. We have 692 people. Gladly receive that 692, 96 on the like side. Like the video.
Please like the video, guys. Mohani then said, Ntate Ngomezulu, I would like to ask that your client tell you the truth and not speak lies. After we left the mine, after we got information that he was not there, we parked on the side of the road. And Mohani said, and he asked to speak to Gininda, and Gininda had to come into our car. Gininda asked what was wrong. He said, since they deny I was here, I would like to tell the truth. How convenient that he decides to tell the truth just before you transport him back to Rustenburg. And he says he was under the impression that you guys were letting him go.
They're saying no, since he couldn't. You see how this case was created in the past, and then it was created on the basis of that HR giving some wrong information somewhere there and there. So the arguments are still standing for that. So this guy is saying, after finding out that this guy was supposed to be at work and he was not at work, then this guy was therefore ready to speak. Very nice story. But no. Unfortunately, what you didn't account for is that in June, the very same year, 2014, this guy took leave in advance. July.
14th of July.
Yes, in advance.
Now, how would he know?
Preparing for what? Preparing to go take Senzo's life.
How would he know?
In October.
That on that day, they were going to be at that Spaza house. Because the way they narrated it, it seemed like they just stumbled. The plan was to go to the party.
It's robbery gone wrong.
The plan was to go to the party and not the Spaza house. Somehow they ended up at the Spaza house.
That's what they are saying.
That's what they are saying. So it doesn't sound like it was pre-planned to be at that Spaza house at that time, on that day. And here's Ntanzi on the 14th of July taking leave for that specific day. Oh my God. Mohani said if Sergeant Mabena was here, he would be his witness. Gininda read him his rights, and when he started talking, Brigadier Gininda stopped him and told him since he was the lead investigator in the case, he would get someone neutral to take down the statement. Mohani then said when we parted, he asked him if he was satisfied. He said he was. If I could raise Mabena from the dead, he would come and confirm this. Leave Mabena alone at this point. Let him rest. Let him rest.
You only rest if you are working with people who were working for good cause.
Ngomezulu then said, sir, according to the OB entry, if he'd intended to make a confession, was it necessary to transfer him to the Foslorus court? And Mohani said, you must remember that the previous day it said suspect charged. When it says suspect charged, he's taken out of Pretoria, and that is where Gininda says, I have found a person. Please go past Moroka. Ngomezulu said, is there any entry where you mention accused number 2 is booked in and booked out on case 63610 of 2014? Mohani said, there's no such. Mohani said, but if you'd understand me, when we left the police station in Pretoria North, Brigadier Gininda called and said he'd found someone to take down the confession. So before you go to Foslorus, please pass by Moroka. And Ngomezulu said, so between the time he was arrested on the 16th of June 2020 and when he was finally charged on the 26th of October 2020, the 48 hours had lapsed. Mohani said, which case are you talking about?
That's very funny. You should know which one because you were dealing with these cases.
Ngomezulu then said he was not arrested on the 26th of October. Mohani said yes. Ngomezulu, he was arrested on the 16th of June. Mohani said yes. So the 48 hours passed by months. Mohani said, let me explain this. When he was arrested, he was not arrested for this case. There were other cases. Mgomezulu said the law says he was supposed to be charged within 48 hours. And Mokhane said, if I had given him the SAP 14A and said I arrest you in relation to the Meyiwa murder case, then I would agree with you. Mgomezulu then said if the confession was taken on the 19th of June, they had sufficient evidence to take the matter to court. Even if there were other cases, the matter would be placed on the roll, even if they would add other charges as time went on. And Mgomezulu said as prima facie case had been made by the state in that a confession has been made. But on the 19th of June, after the confession has been made, the accused is still brought to the Voslorus case. Baloyi said it doesn't mean once a confession has been made, the accused must appear before 48 hours. That preposition is incorrect. More evidence was still being gathered. Now, this is the first time I hear of this. This is the first time I hear of such. So even the 48 hours has conditions, according to Baloyi.
No, it has condition. It has no conditions. You put the right way is to put this thing on the court roll and say, okay, pending investigation.
Well, the judge was once again in the state saying it's normal for cases to be in another province and transferred to another province mid-investigations. He said that has happened before. He even sought for approval from Mr. Mnisi. And Mr. Mnisi was like, yes, it has happened before because Mr. Mnisi was a prosecutor. He even mentioned, you are a former prosecutor, Mr. Mnisi. Doesn't that happen? And he said, yes, that happens. But that was not done with this case. This one is a closed case. It's closed.
They cannot transfer it anyway.
So
they are just raising it from that. They're saying, okay, we will make you leave. We don't want you to close. So that's what is happening.
Well, Mgomezulu kicked off the post-lunch proceedings by focusing on Danzi 22nd of June 2020 appearance at the Tlhabani Magistrate Court. And Mgomezulu said, what was the reason? Why was it postponed? And Mokhane said it is written legal aid and no bail. On the 22nd, he had no lawyer. That's his first court appearance at the court in Tlhabani Magistrate Court in Rustenburg. He had no lawyer. So Mgomezulu then said, who was the legal representative for the suspect? And Mokhane said, there's no record of the lawyer. Mgomezulu asked, were you present? And Mokhane said, yes. Mokhane said that they made a special request to the court not to have the suspect remanded in prison following his appearance and that he be kept at the police station. He said there is a letter they wrote to make this request. But the conclusion is that it is not there because you cannot find this letter, said Mgomezulu. Mokhane said it was there because it would not have been possible to take him from court to the police station without it. Then where is it? Where is the letter?
So,
Accused number 2 appeared on the 22nd of October 2020, to which date he was remanded to, and Mokhane said he would not know because he does not have the docket and it has been a long time. Mokhane had the charge sheet with him, and the court appearance for the 27th of October 2020 was postponed to the 5th of March 2021, although he made a mistake here and said 2023, and Baloyi assisted him and said the record speaks for itself, throwing shade, and he said the witness is struggling to find it. Well, Mgomezulu said the reason for the postponement, and Mokhane said postponed 27th 11/2020 for serving indictment, accused 1 to 5 in custody, no bail. So this is the first court appearance of accused 1 to 5, and it was postponed to the 27th of November 2020, and he was taken to Valeria police station afterwards. It is not a prison, apparently it's a police station. So Mokhane said he never went to prison, it's a police station. Mokhane said the magistrate is the one who said accused number 2 must be transported to Valeria. After being asked if there is anywhere the court specified that it made such a ruling, and Mokhane said he would know because he doesn't understand court processes. So he wouldn't know because he doesn't understand how the court works. So on the 1st of March 2021, when the matter was remanded for accused number 2, he was remanded to Ramotsana prison in Rustenburg. Mogani said he does not remember whether or not he was in court on that day. Mgomezulu moved to the time they booked out accused number 2 to Vosloorus. On their way to Vosloorus, they were called by Brigadier Gininda to take accused number 2 to Moroka police station. Mogani said they were on their way. They had not arrived at Centurion, Pretoria, and they were traveling on the N North-South facing Johannesburg. Mgomezulu asked from where you received the call on the N1 South when you transported the accused to Moroka on the 19th. For you to reach Moroka, you had to pass by Alberton. Mogani said it's on the way. When it reaches Midrand, it splits, and that's where we took the route towards Alberton. Mgomezulu said, so when you go to Moroka from N1, do you have to join N17? And Mogani said, no, the N17 is far, but you pass the off-ramps to there. Mgomezulu asked if there was a witness who said they escorted you via N17, would you agree? And Mogani said, no, I wouldn't. N17 is far. Mgomezulu said, where exactly did you wait for Mapumulo and Monareng? And Mogani said, when you are on the N3, there's where it splits. One goes to Durban and the other one to Alberton. And the route also splits at R59 and continues to Soweto, N12. That's where we met. Mgomezulu said, is that where you stopped? And Mogani said, I don't remember us stopping. When they saw us coming, they just joined us. Mgomezulu said, was it next to a filling station? And Mogani said, I don't remember a garage. I think there's a BMW dealership. Mogani said he drove the white Toyota Fortuner. Finally have a driver for the Fortuner. Now we're looking for the driver of the BMW.
It's there.
But he did not want to be specific about whether or not the white BMW belonged to Brigadier Gininda or not.
You did say that it's there, though.
It's there, but he doesn't want to say who it belongs to, or who drives it more often, or who has been assigned to drive it. He didn't want to be specific about that.
Yeah.
He said Brigadier Gininda is not allowed to drive state cars. They have their own cars designated for them by the state because they hold different positions or higher ranking positions. So Mgomezulu then said, were you privy to Gininda and Rapadu's conversation after Ntanzi's confession at Moroka? And Mogani said no. Mgomezulu asked, do you know why a second confession had to be taken in front of a magistrate? And Mogani said, no, I don't know. Brigadier Gininda will come and explain. So Mgomezulu said after the issuing of the medical report, the person who intends to take the confession may decide to take that confession or relay what they have observed to the investigating officer. And Baloyi stood to object and wanted the basis. The judge said that the kennel stops taking a confession the moment the suspect says they were assaulted. It's the law. Mogani said there were about 10 police officers at the Boksburg Magistrate Court and that they were armed as it is required in their line of duty. When asked if the EMPD that was at Boksburg was the same one that was at Moroka police station, Mogani said he could only recognize Jonathan. So Mgomezulu in Boksburg said, did the suspect see those police officers? And Mogani said he could have seen them. Mgomezulu asked, there's evidence that they were standing in the passage, and Mogani said yes. And accused too was also in the same passage, and Mogani said yes. We were walking together. We were taking him to the magistrate's office. Mogani said he did not assume that the magistrate was who they said she was when they got there. They first saw SPP Hek or Hawk. Hek or Hong.
The prosecutor.
I remember that video that went viral. Do you know that video, Mr. Anonymous?
I don't listen to such nonsense, man.
It's actually from the news. It was this man narrating. I think there was a lion or something that had entered the community.
Isn't it a song? I only heard it through the song.
So he said heck or hong. I'm like, here, hong. And I'm like, I remember
Is
that
it a
video.
song that they made on that?
Maybe they did. You know what?
I think
stuff
I heard a
goes
song
viral.
like that. That's why I say I don't listen to such because there's no meaning in that singing.
Heck or hong. Heck or hong. I'm like, oh, poor heck or hong. So Mgomezulu then said, who else was there? And Mbokani said there was a certain lawyer. And then Mgomezulu said, what was he doing then? Mbokani said he was Ntanzi's lawyer. How did you know that? And Mbokani said he came to us and introduced himself as such. And we asked Ntanzi if he knew him, and he confirmed. He promised a card that I think it was written Mjiako Attorneys. Mokhane confirms Ntanzi made the confession while he was in handcuffs, and Gomezulu asked for an early adjournment because he is feeling exhausted. Yeah, it was a long day from Gomezulu today.
It was.
It was a long day. Nami, I was feeling for him. I was like, the whole day cross-examining Tagabao. I don't know if I'm capable of such. I would have been tired by now.
No, I would.
And especially if the witness, he does not want to answer the questions. It's exhausting exercise.
It is.
But the judge wrapped it in, though. He didn't let this one pass. He said Mgomezulu is complaining of exhaustion. He says he's fresh as a daisy. He's 76 and a half years. He goes to the gym at 6 and comes out at 7:30. It can only come natural, said Nisi. That you know what, it can only come natural that he's exhausted. So all the defense counsel had no objection to him adjourning early for today. So yeah, that's it, guys. That's basically the court proceedings. Yes, I had to rush as hard as I can because, honey, a lot is going on. So, who called Mjiako for the first court appearance at Rustenburg?
I don't know. Maybe just Sangomara that he needs to present.
Where did Mjiako come from? Tanzi, explain that part via instructions. Would like to hear it. How did Mjiako come into contact with you at such a crucial time?
Maybe they are coming to Mjiako. Because you can see they want to denounce this Mjiako guy.
Asked Kazelo, where did he come from, this Mjiako, appearing and helping you confess, and then not showing up to some of your court appearances thereafter? Because
what court appearances, though?
The ones that are written.
From where?
The OB, the occurrence
Guys, you
book.
can call.
The occurrence book.
Please like the video, guys. 710 people, 300 likes. Can we push it to 400? You can call, guys. From what we have established is that there is no many cases here. They are just in their heads.
Guys, those of you who watched the coverage we did on Warrant Officer Makubo not being safe, do you remember how the case that he was implicated in and how he was implicated? It's like they took a case and they put him there, right? They put his name there. There was a witness who actually came and exonerated him from that case. But if it was not for that witness, he would have also probably been found guilty. It was regarding some police officers from way back in 2002. So it's the same. It's giving the same pattern. It's giving the same rhythm. But I don't know. Maybe they will come with proof.
Guys,
today.
please call before Emily speaks a lot about certain things. Please call before we could.
But I'm just thinking aloud. It's giving the same symptoms.
Please call. Please.
Okay, we did do a video on it, guys. You can scroll.
Yeah,
on the
you can
video
scroll
tab.
to watch that video.
And
Please like
watch
the
the
video and share the video before And then we call. If you guys don't call, that would mean that I sleep 30 minutes earlier. I get to 40 minutes earlier. Because seriously, if no one is calling Emily, what do I do as my boss?
Let's wait for 5 minutes. Then we'll wrap it up if no one really is calling, because we don't wanna niche our audience. They stayed up. Our family stayed up for this, and next thing we don't give them a chance.
Even
to
this
call
house feels like someone is cooking.
It's hard, ne?
Yo.
It is hard, you guys. So I'm gonna beg us out for one call. I just one, and then I'm out of here because it is hot.
Oh.
We are boiling.
No. This is not how it's supposed to be. Yeah, we're very tempting to discuss the issues of TFO, but yeah, I see it. We just see it. Yeah, you see, the thing is, if you're honest in this world, people don't like you. Can you please have a call? Caller. Okay, I guess then people don't have a time or they are sleeping, but we have 690 people here. Please like the video for that matter. And then I'm just gonna call people here and then get out.
Like
Nomusa Ndiweni and Net Snentlantla Vuyo Mhlangabezi. If I've called your name before, Innocentia, I'm gonna jump you. Dawn, Zamani, thank you for being with us, guys. Vusumuzi Mkosi, thank you. Mabo, thank you. Mimi, Mrs. K, thank you. Lubabalo, thank you. Sizwe Mkaka, you are late, you said, but you can follow, can go back and follow from there. Then you'll be able to catch up with the case. Unfortunately, but it's not long, this one. And Farai, thank you. Yeah, Emily, Petro, thank you. I'm about to close. Fuyo, thank you. Modley, thank you. You've been there on the comment section, making it late, discussing issues. Ansi Kemoyo, thank you, our moderator.
Thank you.
Think I've called everyone. Dingani, thank you. Nostelo. Yeah, Emily.
Yes.
Temsile, thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Yes, all of you guys, thank you. Thank you for being with us. It has been nice. Please like the video on your way out. And this is how we shut it down. Tomorrow is the day. Maybe tomorrow is going to make us talk, Emil.
Yeah, maybe it will be hot and spicy. You know me, I like drama in that courtroom. Until the next one, you guys, thank you so much for tuning in with us. And see you guys on the next one.
Yes, we'll see them on the next one. Just finishing this.
Okay, I can't see anymore. Things have changed.
Yes. I did that on paper, so now, Amen.
Things have changed.
Tapsile, thank you. Guys, please like on your way out. Spa Masuk, thank you. Kenneth, thank you. Called you out, okay, Moyo. And then, that's basically it. people that were here. Tuli Tools. Almost
Tuli
got you.
Tools.
Thank you. Cecile. Thank you. Give an update on D4. We will do that. We will. We just need the proper angle.
Yeah.
We will do that.
It's complicated.
It's complicated.
It's
We
tough.
will. Mariette, thank you. Thank you guys, all of you. Even though I didn't call your name, it's a bye from me. Bye bye.
Bye, guys.